Well, here we go again, guys. We're back again for another match in this year's Virtual Pool 4 US Open 9-Ball Championships. It is going to be a winner's side match, and it's between ZeCarioca of Brazil and Bedhead, who is from Sweden. I never knew he was from Sweden. Anyway, it's a race to 16. It starts at the top of the hour. We've got a few minutes to go. And let's have a look at the bracket. Earlier today, we had a match on the one-loss side between Albinario and Mofo the Pat. And I'm afraid Mofo's performance against Mr. Bill was not there against Albinario. He missed too many chances, and Albinario comfortably won by 11 racks to 3. And well, he is waiting on the one-loss side, and I think he's going to be playing the loser of this match tonight between ZeCarioca and Bedhead. The winner of this match will go into the hot seat match, and they will play Yamaguchi Taru, who's sitting up there waiting. And we've only got a few matches left in this tournament. Now, this match, Bedhead, in my book, is a strong favourite. Very solid player from what I've seen over the last few weeks, and very solid in this tournament as well. His last match, he beat Wink at Me 16 racks to 9, and in ZeCarioca's match, he won 16-12 against Magician. I get the feeling that ZeCarioca's potentially in way over his head in this match, but we will see. He's a bit too flashy at some shots, and he's looking for a lot more consistency if he's going to achieve anything in this match. But like we say, it's just a game, and anything can happen in the day. I think it's important for ZeCarioca that he stays with Bedhead early on. The longer he can stay with him, the more nervy it might get later on in the match, but that's his best hope, I think. We will see. So, we've got about a minute or so before the room goes up, and we will be ready to go. Oh, the other thing is, I noticed that Cobra was in the lobby. I think he's in practicing. Now, he's due to play Tony Sam on the one-loss side. They haven't arranged their match yet. There's nothing up on the schedule. I'm hoping that'll be over the next day or two, and we'll be able to catch that one. If I see Tony, I might be able to get a word with him and find out what's happening. But until then, we'll concentrate on this one. And the room should be going up any second now. Just to cover the rules again for anybody that doesn't know, sorry, I'll say that again. It is an alternate break tournament, and there are no jump queues. No jump queues allowed in the tournament. They've been automatically taken out, and the 9-ball is wild on the break. If it goes in, you win the rack. Bedhead is here. He just arrived in the lobby about 10 minutes ago, not even 10 minutes, and ZeCarioca has been in all day practicing, so we'll see whether that will work for him. Can't do him any harm. So the room is now up, and we will jump straight in, and we're in waiting on the players arriving. They'll lag off for the break. And you know what I fancy? I am going to change this table colour. I'm changing it to blue. So here we go. The lag off for the break. Once again, I don't know who's who on the break, but whoever's lagging off on the left has won it, and that is Bedhead, and he's got the break. So we're looking for the consistency that we've seen from Bedhead throughout this tournament, and all the players in the tournament. The most consistent has been Yamaguchi Taru, and this guy, Bedhead. Did Bedhead win the lag there, or did he put ZeCarioca in? I wish I'd been paying attention. Anyway, the push out's been played, but well, ZeCarioca. Well, Bedhead is choosing to push out. Not the best of push outs, it has to be said, because ZeCarioca can marry him up to the 5 ball here, I think. Yeah, Happy New Year, Andrew. Oh, Keith. It's about time you dropped in. So as I said earlier, this match is to decide who's going to go into the hot seat match with Yamaguchi Taru. And all along in this tournament, right from the start, my money has been on Bedhead. I've been watching him in a few of the Friday night 9-ball tournaments, and he's been very strong, very consistent. And if that continues, then, well, he's going to get his match up with Yama. And it's up to ZeCarioca to see if he can do anything about it. Just checking the stream, it's looking okay. It's been running actually pretty good the last couple of weeks. And there's approximately a 5-second delay on the live match to the actual stream. So Bedhead, I think he's got himself in the 2. Now I would imagine that ZeCarioca's chances are going to be fairly few, and it's important that it's probably even more important in this match for ZeCarioca on his break to get a ball and actually show if he can run the table, because if he doesn't, then this guy Bedhead is just going to snaffle up everything that's there on the table. Now I would think he's more likely to be looking for position in this 5 rather than playing a 5-9 combo at a distance. And then having said that, that looks like what he's going to do. This is a bit risky at this distance. I'm surprised at that. He had all the table to run around there to get onto it. Maybe he did try to go onto it, but he certainly didn't hit it with enough weight, and it's gone wrong. So here is a prime example for ZeCarioca. It's not an easy one into a blind pocket, but I'll tell you what, well, he's going the other way. Try to, oh, he's got lucky there. He tried to draw into the 9, and now he's going to have to pull a good one out in this 6 ball. And that's his chance gone, unless Bedhead fails to get on this 8 ball. So already in the first rack we've had a mistake, and ZeCarioca has failed to capitalise. And that's what he's, this is exactly the incidents that he has. Well, that's going to, oh, I thought that was going to scratch, but this is exactly what ZeCarioca has to do, and at the first time of asking, he's failed. Still surprised he didn't try to get around the table and get on that 5 and leaving a long 5-9 combo. Anyway, the first rack goes to Bedhead. Well, he's got the Swedish flag, and I've never seen him before unless he's somebody in a different name, and unless he's not necessarily from Sweden, that we don't know, but he's a damn good player, and I wish I had actually. I've selected low latency, and now I'm getting buffering on the stream. You guys need to let me know if this stream is working okay, and if it isn't, I'm going to shut it down and restart it, because I'm looking at it and all I've got is buffering at the moment. I wish I hadn't done that. So it's okay, right? Now hang on a minute, just wait until this rack's over till I do a refresh on my second monitor. See, that's it. The rule for anything is if it's working, don't try to fix it. I went and hit the low latency option there to try and get the stream to go, you know, to actually go as close to the live play as possible, and it's not working. It might be that well, there's people obviously off on holiday at this time of year, so the internet might be quite busy. Right, give me 2 seconds, guys. So it's 2-0 to Bedhead. Right, we're back on. I've got my second monitor working again, but if this goes again on my end, I'm going to shut it down and restart the stream. It should only be like a minute. So we're into rack 3. Bedhead had a go at the 1 ball there. Let's see if ZeCarioca changes his strategy any in this match. Now, an instance like that on the 1 ball, a tough ask to get that 1 ball. You've got to employ some sort of other strategy than all-out potting against this guy. You've got to prevent him potting, I think. You've got to find the balance between the two. If it's simple all-out attack all the time, then you better be sure of what you're doing. But ZeCarioca is going to have to deal with a problem here. A kick in the 1. And needs to get lucky. Well, Bedhead can certainly cut the 1. He's going to finish somewhere round about the 9 ball as long as he avoids running into anything. Well, that didn't go according to plan. Far too much spin on it and he spun into the 5. Let's have a look. Can he see enough of that? No, he can't. So, a couple of little mistakes here. And that's now going to be set up as a combo for ZeCarioca. He's got a problem to deal with this 4 ball. 4 ball can be potted down the rail here as long as you get over that right hand side over by the 8 ball. But he's out of line in the 3. I think he's maybe staring right down into this pocket. No, he's not. So he has to be thinking about this 4 ball. And he almost got there in the 4, but he's missed the 3. So they're not easy chances here for ZeCarioca so far, but he's really got to nail them. And that's where he's going to be under pressure. because he doesn't have the, whatever he says himself, he doesn't have the consistency of players like Bedhead. But he's got another chance. There's no way he plays at the same level as these guys, but having said that, what a miss in the 3. I mean, that was way out of line and nowhere on the 4, and that is just one miss too many. Four ball still the problem ball, but this time Bedhead's found the weight. Has he got there? Yes, he has, and that's the difference. I mean, we're only early in the match, but you're probably going to see plenty of evidence from Bedhead on how good a touch he gets. Now, he wasn't in the lobby practicing, he wasn't warming up to get his pace, so he's going to do that all in the match unless he was doing it offline. But if he starts to get his act together, he could run away very quickly. And that's what I fear for ZeCarioca. If he doesn't make an impact soon, the match could be too far down the line for him. Well, that's what I said about him. He's too flashy, ZeCarioca. Reckless would be the word, but I think part of that issue, though, is lack of experience. And when you have that lack of experience and you don't have the same control, you're going to be found out in these big tournaments. But there's a mistake by Bedhead, and it's got to be a bank. I mean, this is an odds-on bank, this. If he doesn't hit it too hard, you don't slam it, you hit it medium pace, and you've got 2 chances of it going in. And there we go. So he's off the mark, and that's a handy rack to win. It eases the mind. He's got rid of the bagel, as they say in the States, and he's trailing by 1. Now, instances like this in any game I've watched him play, he has a slash at this 1 in the 9. And shots like that, when you don't get them, and the fact that Bedhead is on the 1, Bedhead is just going to have a lot of fun here if he just runs this rack, and that's just going to punish ZeCarioca for that type of shot. I mean, you just cannot be flashing at combos on a 9 as soon as you see them, even though they're sort of, you know, 50-50 at best. You've got to show that you can run the table. Once again, Bedhead's missed. Now here's the perfect opportunity for ZeCarioca. Get the cue ball out, get on that 3, and see if you can run out. And this is the type of opportunity that he has to take. Well, he's now got a problem. The problem's potting the 4 for a start, but judging the pace on the 5, and now he's got a thin cut on the 5, so this is him out of line, and he's got to try and get recovery here in this 6 ball. And that needs to miss the 6, and it needs to miss the scratch. Well, there you go. You get out of line, you start that cue ball running, you're going to run into trouble at some point. And it's an easy run out here for Bedhead. And that maybe what's needed is a bit more care and attention when you do get the chance. So 3-1 to Bedhead. So he's already got the gap. And with alternate break, ZeCarioca's swimming against the tide. Because Bedhead's broke off in rack number 5. We've lost the 6 and the 8 ball. He's got a none too easy shot in the 1. But if he gets the... Well, didn't risk going for it. And I think that cue ball is right behind the edge of the 9 there. It most certainly is. Well, ZeCarioca, I think, will accept that. He's certainly not going to be... Can he see enough of that? Just an edge. Well, this 1 ball cuts. And straight away you can see there's a possible 2-9, but he needs to get position on this 2, and he's almost there. Now he needs to drop behind the 3 ball. Somewhere between the 3 and the 4 would be ideal. And that's not a bad effort. But he's left himself in trouble. Right over the 4 ball. And he just has to concentrate totally on the 3, because he's got to have a shot in the 4. And he hasn't made the angle. Now that needs to go past the middle pocket. So there's a long combo possible here for Bedhead. And there's not really many places in the table to try and hide a ball, so... Well, that was a strange shot, that. I think he tried to nurse the 4 ball into the pocket dead weight to keep the 3 there. Meanwhile, ZeCarioca has played the little combo, but he's hooked himself. Oh, the double kiss has done him a favour. It's still not done him a great favour. He's got a nasty cut in this 5, and the scratch is on as well. He needs to be careful how he actually hits this. So he's drawing down. Oh, and he's got lucky. Look at the 5. And it's going to have to be the bank on the 7. The reverse bank, I think, into that pocket. And if it doesn't go, down into this one. And then it goes. So ZeCarioca has got away with that one. But you take what you can get. But this to be trailing by just the 1. And that was a really delicate little combo, dead weight pace that Bedhead tried to play there. He just didn't get enough into it. And it's cost him the rack in the end. Well, the stream seems to be holding up again, thank God. So, dry break by ZeCarioca. And a shot in the 1. Well, this is where you'd expect Bedhead to run out. The balls are all in the open. It's just about finding your way around the table. Well, if there's a slightly awkward one, it's the 6 ball, believe it or not. But provided you can get up in the 5, he shouldn't have any problem getting onto it. Because the 5's at the top end of the table anyway. It's just that it's blocked out into that corner by the 7, more or less. And now he's got the perfect angle on the 4. He can come off the 2 rails off the left hand side and the right hand side. You need a fair bit of pace in it if he's going to go that way, but that way he avoids the 7 and the 6 ball. If he's trying to draw up the table, he's got to find that gap. Well, I don't know what he tried there, but that went entirely wrong. That was That was a bit of a noob positional shot, was it not? But not so bad an effort on the safety. And has he got it covered? No, he hasn't. I presume he was trying to collide with something there. Well, ZeCarioca's went all out for the bank. He's missed it, but he's got away with it. And ball in hand now to ZeCarioca. So another mistake by Bedhead. And it's turning into a little bit of a shaky start here. And that wasn't a great shot. That was poor to have ball in hand and to actually stun the cue ball into the 9 and leave yourself virtually nothing in the 6. And that's going to end up behind the 8. So that is not good. That is shooting yourself in the foot. And that cue ball's going to scratch, so Bedhead has been redeemed. So it's now going to go back to 2. 4 racks to 2, but Bedhead is breaking off in rack number 7. And it's a dry break. But there's a shot in the 1 here for ZeCarioca. Now that's gone a bit straight on the 3, and this is where it can go wrong. Well, he needed a lot of bottom and left English on it. He's now blocked out by the 7, so this is a bit of a hit and hope. If he doesn't slam this too hard, he could get cover, but he's slammed into it. And he's got away with it, but that shot there, those balls could act as cover if he had just hit that and punched it up the table without hitting it so hard, but he's got lucky for the time being. So ball in hand to ZeCarioca. Now can he find the consistency to run out? Well, he hasn't, because he's going to block himself out in the 7, is he? No, he's okay. And again, overhit and out of line, and got to get a recovery shot. And in goes the 6, and he's even in bigger trouble here. And you just cannot keep pulling out shots to keep runs going. And he's way off the mark. And this is what I thought might happen. I mean, in the long run, Bedhead is just going to pick these racks off. So for the first time, I think the gap now goes to 3. The break goes back to ZeCarioca in rack number 8. And he needs something to happen. 2 balls tied up with the 9 on the left rail, so there's no great benefit in potting this one. And there's a chance for Bedhead to send this one down the table and try and get the cue ball back over to the corner where he is right now. Well, he's used a clever little shot there, a little nudge into the 4, using the 3 as a blocking ball. And this is tough to hit because the angle off the right rail, the 8 ball's in the way. And ZeCarioca has decided that the deliberate foul is the best plan here. Tie the 4, the 2 and the 9 up. And so Bedhead has a choice. He's got ball in hand. He's going to leave the angle in the 1 ball. And he's going to try and nudge into that 9. And open up the 2. In fact, if anything, if he nudges it right, he'll actually combo the 2 down the rail. The 9 onto the 4 and the 2 into the pocket. But from this angle, what's he doing? He needs to watch his shot clock as well, because he's going to be running into his extension. Well, he's decided he's going to go for the 3 fouls. And he's not got there, so ZeCarioca, well, I don't know what he thought there, but he's opened up the 9. The 2 and the 4 still tied up. The 1 has gone safe. And you don't want the cue ball to be flying around loose. You want to keep that 2 and 4 tied up for the time being. Well, probably just a little feather on the 2 and try and just get the cue ball over behind the 3 in the right hand rail. Just overhit it slightly, so there's an edge of the 2 showing, but what's ZeCarioca thinking? He's gone for the bank. He's missed it, but again he's got away with it. And sooner or later, he's not going to get away with it. And at 5-2 down, I think you've just got to keep things tighter. And that's gone wrong. But the 8 ball has gone adjacent to the 5, and that causes a problem for Bedhead. So that might be ZeCarioca's lifeline in this rack. Let's have a look at the 5 from here. I don't think there's any great position you can get on that 5 to actually cut it. I mean, if you were looking from the donut to that angle, that doesn't convince me you can still pot the 5. Either way, if Bedhead doesn't with the shot, he should have ZeCarioca in trouble. Well, he's got over ambitious there, and he's going to be in trouble himself. Now, does ZeCarioca go all out for the pot, or does he try and keep it tight? Well, he's went for the pot. But once again, he's got the cover. Oh, well, that second kiss has stunned Bedhead a favour. He's knocked it safe, but here's the kick bank. And it goes. And now ZeCarioca, well, this 8 ball could do him a favour. It could maybe brush off the 8 on the rail and push the cue ball back out for this 7. Well, that cue ball would have been right out into the middle of the table if it hadn't hit the 9. So he's got to get this. Not an easy 7 ball. Goes for the bank. And again, no position in the 8. And it's another rack that's going to be picked off by Bedhead. And this strategy ain't going to work, I'm afraid. You've got to get better position. Well, this is not a dead set, but it's got to be the cut into the middle. And it goes, and the gap has now gone to 4. And I'm hoping for ZeCarioca's sake that he has a change in strategy somewhere along the line here. How far behind is he going to have to be till he tightens things up? Well, I think I had a word. I think we were talking about how this match would go a few days ago, and a couple of the guys agreed with me that if ZeCarioca could win 5 racks, he'd be doing well. If he plays the way that he normally plays, and he's actually playing the way that he normally plays, he's too loose, very loose positionally. And well, he's got 2 racks on the board, but in all honesty, he's not going to get many more if he doesn't tighten up. So Bedhead, simple enough run out for 7-2. So the break goes back to ZeCarioca, alternate break. And a ball has gone in. What one went in? 6 ball. And a shot in the 1. But again, there was room to get the cue ball around the table if you played the right type of English, but he's going to have to, well, I presume that was some sort of bank attempt. So Bedhead just looking to nudge this 2 onto the 3. If he hits the 2 right to the point on the rail and the 3 itself, it goes in. There's no 100% guarantee he'll be on the 2. Well, that's worked out pretty good. The 3 just drops in. And just edge the 2 in and hold for the 4. Well, he could punch the 4 in and just come off the diamond that the cue ball will hit on that short rail and come back down behind the 8 if he wanted to do that. He can just stun it. He's got the angle to do that. Well, that's gone wrong as well. Didn't want to hit the 9, but he's still alright. And I think he wants to stay inside this 8 ball here if he can. He's tried to, I think he tried to hold it, but he's overdone it and he's out of line. This is not easy. One thing I mentioned about Bedhead as well is that in quite a few shots I've seen him in matches, he's actually, if he gets out of line, he's very good at digging himself out of problems. And he was well out of line in that 7 ball. So it goes to 8-2 and Bedhead is halfway home. Just needs another 8. Now, how many have we got? Well, we've got 4 in the room, including the 2 players, and we've got 16 watching the stream. That's pretty good. So the push out has been played. ZeCarioca, well, I think the more he flashes at balls, the more desperate the situation seems to be. If I was in his corner, I'd be telling him just to tighten things up and look at your strategy a wee bit more, because there's always ways to win matches and there's silly ways to lose matches, and flashing at balls ain't going to get you any joy in the end. Oh, that was a good shot. And considering where the cue ball was and where the 2 ball was, that was an excellent pot. And a little nudge in the 3. Well, he doesn't need to be brave with the cue ball here. Just pot the 4. Well, he's got a choice now. He can pot the 6 and leave the 8 into the right middle if he wants, or he can leave it long. And it's going into the right middle, and a little roll through if he wants, or a little... Well, I think he wants to roll through because he's dead straight pretty near, so just roll through for the 9 into the opposite. Keep everything simple. And Bedhead is just picking ZeCarioca off here. That flash he had on the 9 there has been duly punished again, and it's now 9-2. ZeCarioca breaking off in rack number 12. The break is dry, but there's a shot in the 1 for Bedhead. And these balls aren't sitting perfect. Good evening. Is that you, Potman? I keep... See if you actually used your bloody names. I'd remember who yous are. Yeah, I'll play a game of doubles after. Now here's a little tester. Now, Bedhead, if he plays this with a bit of inside, he could play a cute little shot to try and just nudge onto the 5. No, he's going to try and leave the combo. Well, he's a bit short. But see if he just looks at the pot angle on the 4, that 5 has to go in. It's dead set to the pocket. Oh, I think he's gone a bit too far, has he? Well, I'd be bending round that slightly. Let's have a look. Can you see it? I think he can just get there. Yep, no problem. Well, this is a delicate cut into the left middle, but the cue ball is going to go around the angles. The chances are, unless he puts nothing on it, he's going to nudge somewhere over by the 8. He's overdone it. He's overdone it, actually trying to get right in behind the 7 there. Well, this is a slim chance for ZeCarioca to steal this rack. It's still not over yet, even though he's hung up the 6. The 7 is really awkward. And that's his only lifeline left in this rack. Well, Bedhead hit the rail first there. He used the right hand spin to come off the top rail and side rail by the 9 ball and get down into the corner, so he can either play the bank or just bury the cue ball behind the 8, which he's done. And now it's the old boom bang a bang on the 7 and hope you get lucky. And he's got lucky. He's going to have to get luckier though. Well, the cut is on in the 8 ball. And he's need to send that cue ball off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rails or something to get out into the middle of the table. Where's the cue ball going? Well, at least it's awkward. And it's the wrong angle on this 8 ball. Well, where's it going? Oh, I thought it was going into the middle. This is not easy. But he's got it. And he's got a shot in the 9 down the rail. How's that 9 on the rail? It's off the rail. So ZeCarioca gets 1 back. Bedhead breaking off in rack number 13. No joy, but it's safe. So a reminder to any latecomers, the winner of this match is going through to the hot seat match against Yamaguchi Taru. to see who gets to the final. Well, that's overcut. The 2 ball is going nowhere, stuck against the 4. Well, he managed to get into the 3 ball and open up the 2. He's got it safe again though. And this 1 ball, unless he hits this spot on, you just cannot get there. This is really, well, he's actually got it. That's a great shot. I'm sure it's a good shot. Yep. Well, he could use the 9 ball as a stopper here and try and come down. Well, he's not interested. I'm looking for strategy here and I'm not seeing any. And all he's done is just open the table up. Well, he's opened the left-hand side. The 5 ball's awkward next to the 7. There's a thing I spoke about before in streams, and it's about players being one-dimensional. And when I say one-dimensional, it's like players who've only got one way of playing, and they don't adapt, and they don't do anything different. They've got one way of playing, and it's pretty predictable. And for players that are like that, then they usually very often don't prosper that well. And ZeCarioca's yet to prove me wrong. And the longer the match goes on, the more he plays exactly the same, and it's not working now. Common sense tells me if something ain't working for you, then you try something else. And I've yet to see any evidence of that. That shot there, played with a lot of draw just to eat into the pace in the cue ball and keep it under control. Sitting perfect in the 3. Now, what sort of angle does he leave himself in this 4 to try and do something about the 5? Let's a closer look at that 5. Well, that 5 ball isn't going in, so he's got, well, that's a strange shot. I'm trying to work out what he's trying to do there. And that's gone wrong. So that was a poor one from Bedhead, and it's a chance for ZeCarioca. And straight away, that is way short. That cue ball should have been down here. Anywhere in this area, he's got a shot in the 6, and now he's got to dig out a shot. And he's out of line. So it's the bank on the 7. And that's going to get there, I think. Just, no, it's not. And that last shot that ZeCarioca played when he was trying to get down onto the 6, you've got a huge margin of error, a huge area of table to get into when the 6 ball is there. So anywhere down here, you've got a shot in the 6 ball. Anywhere there, and you have no shot in the 6 ball, or at least the shot you have isn't easy. Having said that, Bedhead's given himself a little bit of a problem here. He could go for the bank, or he could go for the thin cut. Well, this is one of these instances where he's got himself in trouble. Can he get himself out of it? The answer to that is yes. So this for 10-3. So ZeCarioca breaking off in rack number 14. And he's got the, what is it, the 5 ball has gone. Now this table is wide open. And he has to run out. And he's got to keep it tight. And when I say tight, I mean tighter controlling that cue ball. He's gone a bit straight on this 3. He needs to punch this 3 in, or he needs to come back to leave the 4 into the left middle. Now it's going to be a long 6 unless he runs the cue ball around the angles. And this makes it tougher to get out for the 7 ball. So this rack hinges on him getting on this 7. And he's got there. So it's 1 back for ZeCarioca. He took his chance. Still trailing by 6. Bedhead's break in rack number 15. And the 4 ball has gone. He's got a shot in the 1. And he's got a little bit of a tricky 2-8 combo to follow. Unless he tries to drop right down into this corner, which would be accurate. Well, he's played the 1 long. That's left him in probably the worst position to try and play this combo. But he can actually play a safety if he wants. Now, well, that's one way of hitting the 2. He didn't need to kick at it, but it's finished not too bad. It's a tough cut on the 2. And I don't think that Bedhead can avoid running into the 5 here. And he needs to be careful as well, because if he hits the left-hand side of the 5, he'll run in behind the 7. And can be blocked out in the 3. Well, he's managed to avoid it. What's the 6 ball doing? Well, the 3 cuts, but there's a big risk of the scratch off this 6 ball into the corner. And that's why he's just decided to play it safe now. ZeCarioca has got to try and keep it tight. Simple enough just to cut the 3 along to the 8 ball. But at some point you'd think one of these players is maybe going to try and get distance. Well, Bedhead's went for it, but how the hell do you manage to find the gap between the 9 and the 7 ball there? So this is a bit of a bonus opportunity here for ZeCarioca. Ball in hand. And the cue ball's going to have a lot of travelling to do. He's got a slight angle in this 5, but not really enough. He needs to really hit this to get that cue ball down the table. Bottom and right English to push the cue ball up the table, but didn't get enough in it. He's fell short and left the bank again. And he's only going to get one shot at this bank because the 8 is blocking it. And I hope he's had a look at the cut angle in this 7, because it's tighter than he thinks. And he's got it. Now that 8 ball is on the rail, more or less. Needs to be careful. And that's why, because if you don't get that connection, you're going to push the 8 onto the rail and away from the rail, and his chance is gone. You've got to examine these balls when they're on, you know, close to the rail to see what shot you've got, because when it's on that rail, it means you have to get that connection when you're making that cut precise. If you don't get it precise, you're pushing it off the rail. And that's a chance gone. And it's now 11-4 to Bedhead. Well, the ball has gone in for ZeCarioca. The 2's gone. He's banked to 1. He's on the 3. And he's going to have to try and hold for this 4. Little nudge onto the 6. That was a little touch shot. And that needs to keep running. Well, this is just got a chance of running out of line here. He's played the draw into the rail. Now this shot is crying out for left-hand English. Go right through the ball onto the rail, and he's played it well. The left-hand English pushes the cue ball back to the left as it rolls up the table. And a kill shot for the 8. So ZeCarioca moves on to 5. Still trailing 11-5. And Bedhead breaking. Well, nothing doing, and it's a 1-3 combo for ZeCarioca. And I don't think he paid too much attention to that shot there. He's got away with it, but I presume he tried the combo. It's difficult to actually say what he did try, but he just did not take enough time over it. And the mistake has been made. Too loose again, and too much weight in the shot, and no control over what he's doing, and the end result, well, it was a bit inevitable. So it's ball in hand for Bedhead. He's got work to do though. Well, the 5 is over the middle pocket, but he's just got a bit of traffic to avoid here to get position. And now he's in business. He's on the 2, and it should be the run out. Well, he wants to get this cue ball out into the table for this 5. He doesn't want to leave some fiddly little cut into the middle. Let's have a look at how close that is to the jaw. Well, he's got the angle. He can just drop through onto the 6 if he wants. didn't quite drop through far enough, but he's still okay. All of a sudden I've got an itchy nose. So Bedhead widens the gap again. It's going to 12-5, and he only needs 4 more racks for the big showdown with the other favourite to win the tournament, Yamaguchi Taru. ZeCarioca has come up dry, but it's safe. But however, look at these balls. Bedhead's played the push out, and these balls are sitting for the taking. And again, well, you can make your mind up, guys, and what's happening here, because once again, no care or attention taken over that shot. I don't know whether he had any idea what he was trying to do, but either or, these balls are sitting perfect now, because the only one that was a problem ball has now been pushed into the middle of the table. And this is just meat and drink here for Bedhead. This is just feeding the beast, so it is. You've got to starve the beast. You've got to prevent these opportunities, and ZeCarioca is just digging his own grave here. This is slightly the wrong angle, so he's got a wee bit more thought in this to get on this 6 ball. It's not quite as simple. And as long as it doesn't run too far, and he's out of line. And that was the slight problem he had there with that angle. So now he's going to have to get clever. And it's gone safe. That's not going to get cut in. At least my eyes tell me it isn't. That's got to hit the jaw. ZeCarioca's eyes obviously told him different. But the cut is on, I think. Can he see enough of that? It looks like it. A delicate little shot in the 6. So Bedhead just tidying up to lead by 13 racks to 5. Now I'm going to have a quick look at the bracket. Here's a reminder of what's happening. The winner of this match goes to play Yamaguchi Taru. Let's have a look across. This bloody bracket would do your head in. Sod it, I'm bored with it already. We'll have a look at the end of the match. Now the break, something's going in the break there. There was a couple of balls I thought went in. No, one's went in. The one ball's gone. I'm trying to keep an eye on the bracket to see if Cobra and Tony Sam have arranged their match, because Cobra has been in the lobby all day. I think he's maybe waiting on Tony Sam turning up. So the push out has been played. An attempted shot on the right middle has ended up in a shot in the left middle. And the little cut on the combo has actually worked out perfect. And that's gone out of line. He's now in trouble again. A difficult 1 and 5 into a blind pocket, and got to get the cue ball back up the table for the 7. Managed to hold the line. Just drop in behind the 8 and over the left hand side. So it's another rack in the board for ZeCarioca. He gets to 6. Bedhead just 3 away. 8 ball goes in the break. And no shot in the 1. Well, somewhere up with the 7 ball would be a decent enough push out. The 6 ball blocks the bottom right hand pocket, and well, there's a tempter there for Bedhead. Probably more of a tempter than if ZeCarioca had played the push out down to the 7 ball. Look at the control and the draw on that ball, to, again, just to draw the pace out the cue ball. I think he's got the thin cut in the 2. He certainly has. Just a brush off the 6. And he's held for the 3. And, well, again, I just think it was the wrong choice for a push out. If you looked at where that 6 ball was, it was a blocker. And if he'd played the push out down to the 7, he'd have left nothing like that on for Bedhead. But Bedhead's made the mistake. He's hung up the 3, and it's another chance for ZeCarioca. Got to take it. Well, I've watched all the match so far, and I've seen absolutely no strategy whatsoever from ZeCarioca. You've just got to do whatever you can to try and keep yourself in the match. Some folks say attack's the best form of defence. Well, yes, that would be, you would agree with that statement, but you've got to attack at the right time. And you've got to defend at the right time. And you've got to have that consistency to be able to take opportunities when you get them, and take them on a regular basis. Because players like Bedhead just don't give you too many chances. And when you give them chances, more often than not, they're going to take them. So the odds are stacked against you. And you've got to do whatever you can to try and at least match them or prevent them. So ZeCarioca's had a slash there. 1 ball hanging over the pocket. Needs a good little touch shot here to drop down onto the 3. The 1 ball's actually sitting perfect just to edge off the 1 and get the cue ball up to the left hand side. He's got that possibly a bit too thick, and now he's in trouble. So one or two little errors here by Bedhead have cost him a couple of racks. And maybe he's just getting a wee bit loose himself, or not quite as focused. And that's a dangerous thing as well. If you start looking at the scoreboard and you start thinking, well, I'm comfortable at 13-6 or 13-5, whatever it was, it can get to a stage where you look at the scoreboard and all of a sudden it's 13-9. But ZeCarioca's hung up the fort. Bedhead is playing the waiting game, just waiting for the mistake and waiting to pounce. He's left it short. He's a bit short in this 7. Well, it'd be simpler to play the bank and get on the 8. He needs a little delicate touch here. Yeah, much easier to play the bank. So Bedhead goes to within 2 of victory. Leads by 14 racks to 7. ZeCarioca breaks off. The 1 and the 3 ball have gone. Something else went there. What went there? The 1, the 3 and the 4 have gone. He's had a flash at the bank. He's missed it and he's left it on. And this is what I'm talking about, playing loose. If you play far too loose like that, it can only end in one way. That 9 ball is a wee bit of a hindrance, so it's a big draw off this 5. Normally you'd run to the rail and come up behind the 6. But he's drawn onto the side rail. And he's got a nice angle on this 6 ball. As long as he doesn't come across into the 8 ball, he should be okay. And he's missed the 8. And if he just finishes on the bottom side of this 8, he can sink the 8 and roll up for the 9. A little bit of check there, just to hold the cue ball, and it's perfect. And he's left it short in the 9. Could have done with rolling through. A big margin of error there. Could have rolled through another foot. Just leaving himself a little awkward. And in it goes. And he's 1 away from the hot seat match. And he's breaking off. The 8 ball's thinking about going in. It's hung up. A kick off the rail possible here for ZeCarioca. And now he's in trouble. He's got an easy kick in the 2, but he just has to get lucky. And that is possibly his last shot in the match. A little nudge on the 8 and just hold the 2 ball there. And just a straight draw. So it's looking very likely that the two main favourites are going to be battling it out for a place in this year's final. But I mean, I've been saying all along, I think Bedhead does have the game to match Yama. Well, that's gone wrong. And it's wide open for ZeCarioca. And Bedhead will certainly have to work on his focus. Well, he won't have to now, because this is his surely his last chance to put this match away, but he's maybe not quite as focused as he'll have to be against Yama with a big lead. And we'll try and have a look at this bracket in a second or two, once Bedhead just finishes off here. So Bedhead wins the match by 16 racks to 7, and ZeCarioca moves across to that one-loss side. Right, let's see if we can get this damn thing working. There's Yamaguchi Taru there. And Bedhead has now joined him. And Albinario, who comfortably today beat Mofo the Pat by 11 racks to 3. Albinario is sitting and waiting for ZeCarioca. And then we have Cobra and Tony Sam waiting to play their match. Now they've got until the 10th of January to get it played. Sorry, the 6th of January, what am I talking about? They've got another 2 or 3 days to get it organised. I don't know when that'll be, but there's nothing in the schedule yet. And that just means that Yamaguchi Taru and Bedhead have got a little wait now. They can take some time off and get some practice in until they find out who's going to be playing who on the one-loss side and who's going to get into the final. So with that, folks, thanks to everybody for watching, and well, I go back to work on Thursday. I just hope that maybe 1 or 2 of these matches can maybe get played during the holiday time. It'd be quite good to catch them, but you never know. I might be at home. I might have a chance to get them streamed and get them archived. It'd be good to do that, because I'm sure this Bedhead Yamaguchi Taru match is going to be a classic. But that remains to be seen. So thanks a lot for watching, and we will see you again sometime, guys. Thanks for your company, and if you didn't get it earlier on, a Happy New Year.